Hey there, welcome to Roll for Crit. As you can see, my co-host is gone. Jonathan is still finishing up his lightsaber training in Orlando, but the board games will not wait for us. So I'm here to tell you what games came out for the week of February 10th, 2020. Airship City, initially released by Analog Lunchbox in Japan, is now being brought over stateside by CMON. In this game, you are engineers and you are building a city in the sky. To do so, you have to build airships and other different kinds of buildings and facilities and donate them to the city. Hopefully, you'll be able to build up your workshop and workers, but you may be able to get some more resources off the backs of your competitor engineers. Atlantis Rising is a new edition release now. It was actually a Kickstarter released back in 2019, but this is the retail release. This is a game when you're trying to save the people of Atlantis because Atlantis is, well, sinking. You're going to have to send your workers down 6 different peninsulas. The farther you go down those peninsulas, the better the rewards you will reap. But as I said, it is sinking, and different parts will sink, so you are racing a clock to see if you can get the resources you need in time to save everyone. This is a very popular game. It made a lot of people's 2019 top 10 lists. We have Dark Souls. The board game came out a while back, but this should be the final wave of expansions, I believe, from the original 2016 Kickstarter. We have Explorers, Phantoms, which add, of course, those fun little phantoms from the game, whether they're allies or enemies. We have Iron Keep, which adds some new boards and bosses and stuff. And then The Last Giant, which adds, well, The Last Giant. Marvel Champions LCG had 2 releases. We have a Scenario, which is the Wrecking Crew based on the Wrecking Group, as well as a hero pack for Thor. This game is really popular. This is the second wave, and the first wave is already sold out, and I'm betting this one is probably sold out by the time you're watching this too. We've got Munchkin Cthulhu Sanity Check, which is 30 pack of cards for, well, any game of Munchkin, but probably for your Cthulhu-based Munchkin games. We got a bunch of Star Wars releases. If you like Armada, we have 2 new ships. We have a bunch of new Legion packs, including a Stormtrooper and Battle Droids upgrade set, as well as Luke and Vader operative packs, which sound pretty cool. We've also got the Fireball and Major Vrong's TIE Fighters for X-Wing, but also some other packs like Never Tell Me the Odds, which adds some more obstacles to make your dogfights in X-Wing a bit more interesting. Time Stories has 2 new releases. First off, we have Time Stories Revolution, the Hadal project. In this one is the year 2099, and there's a virus outbreak going on, but you're actually in a deep undersea base. I wonder if they're connected. We've also got Time Stories, the Experience expansion, and this is actually designed to add a bit more of what's going on between your different campaigns in the Revolution, the Blue Cycle, I believe they call it, because you can play these out of order. There isn't a very specific order, but this Experience pack is supposed to add a bit more storyline between main missions. We've got Terra Mystica has an expansion, this one titled Terra Mystica Merchants of the Seas. This adds boats, shocker, which allow you to trade with other players. The one who is exporting will gain VP points, but the one who's importing is going to gain power. You can also use these boats for other resources, like turning them into different buildings and stuff, so it's going to add a lot more competition to your game. We've also got Ticket to Ride, which adds 2 new map packs, or 1 pack that has 2 new maps, Japan and Italy. Italy rewards connecting different regions, while Japan has, first off, a bullet train track, which is sort of a community track everyone wants to donate to, as well as on Tokyo, it actually zooms in a bit. So you may have a ticket that wants a specific part of Tokyo to a town outside in Japan. So there's a bit more variety to where your tickets may want you to go. Daily Magic has 2 new releases. One is an expansion for the Valaria Card Kingdom. The other is a standalone game. First off, we have Valaria Card Kingdom Crimson Seas. This adds a whole new little board, which is the Isles of Valaria, where you can spend a new resource, maps, in order to visit these isles. Some can let you collect old resources, some new ones like tomes, and some let you rescue nobles. But we've got a standalone still in the Valaria universe titled Corsairs of Valaria. In this, you're trying to prove to be the best captain moving along this board and hopefully gather 6 chests of silver before anyone else. Living Planet is a game in which you will take on pretty much being the people sent ahead from a massive corporation to look at this new undiscovered planet and gather resources. There will be catastrophes, however, that you'll have to watch out for, but unlike some games where maybe it's random, shuffling a deck or a die roll, this is actually going to be triggered from your own card, so maybe you can use that to your advantage. Finally, we've got Dice Masters, in which they are now bringing WWE into the mix. We have 3 main products. We have a campaign box, a nice big box, as well as 2 little blister packs. We've got the tag team one, as well as the Bitter Rivals. This is just a quick list of all the crazy stuff that come out. I know there's a lot of expansions as well as stuff that was Kickstarter that may have been received earlier in 2019. I know I got the Valera Card Kingdoms, Crimson Seas, and Dark Souls, and the Crimson Seas is really fun. The board's pretty cool. Maybe we'll do a standalone expansion video on that. Dark Souls, once again, I like the boss fights. I think they're really cool and clever, but the grind to get there is not as fun. So I don't know, I mean, if anyone, how people's opinions are on that. I haven't actually looked too much into that. The Marvel Champions LCG, I really wish they reprinted more of that stuff, or not reprinted, but initially printed. I know Jonathan still hasn't gotten any of the expansion stuff. I don't know if he pre-ordered this. I mean, the Star Wars though, depending on what game you play, there's a lot. I barely touched on all the crazy stuff they had out there. So hopefully you've picked up some of that if you are a fan of Star Wars. Otherwise, let me know if you got any of these games. Were you lucky enough to get Atlantis Rising as a Kickstarter? Because I've heard a lot of great things and it seems to be already sold out in a lot of places. If you picked up any of the new expansions, are you a Time Stories fan? Let me know in the comments down below. We'll respond. Maybe we'll edit a Force Ghost Jonathan, to respond to some of these comments. But until then, I'm Will, and this is Roll for Crit.
If you love board game content, do us a favor, like and subscribe, and support us on Patreon.
Keep watching our content to guarantee you'll top deck a good video.